As we have a mountain paintings tonight, we're going to do some trivia.
Woohoo!
It's going to be fun.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, yeah. And the trivia we're doing, none of us know the answers. It's like last time. We had a blast, so we thought that'd be fun. But let's get started. Happy Tuesday, guys.
Welcome to the studio.
Yeah, and I actually got out of the studio. Yesterday we went for a photo shoot at the metro station in Fort Worth. I did some artwork and it's been hung. So yay. Got artwork on display. That's
right.
That's always fun. That was, I don't know, it's cool to be there when you actually see the because I have the paintings here, like the original paintings, but what they did was they created what do you call it? It's like big glass pieces because it's outdoors and all. So the artwork is being presented in these semi-translucent, sort of opaque pieces of glass and let the light come through, but then you can see the artwork and they're all kind of happy, fun things. But we do have photos of it.
Yeah. What's actually cool about about these is that in like all your other paintings is over the course of the day as the light changes. And because they're like translucent, the light will come through and hit the paintings in different ways. So basically what these are, they're glass panels. So when you go, it's at the Mercantile station in Fort Worth. And so when you are trying to catch the Tex rail to go all around the city, there's this one particular station and they have, seats where you can sit in the glass panels that, encase you from rain and stuff. They've had different artists from all over do all the different stations. And so John did the Mercantile one, and we do have pictures. I can show that.
Yeah. So I want to share that with you. We want to play a game, and then I had the same painting I was working on last week. I was going to work on it tonight, and a lot more color. It's starting to. I changed some ideas about it and stuff, so I thought that'd be cool. But yeah. Do you want to pull up the pictures?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. In the Mercantile station, they said it's they've gotten really good reviews about it. Like people about the artwork, people have told them really wonderful things about it. So that's really cool. And it's a busy station because it's in the Mercantile area. So there's a lot of people using it to go to work and to travel, to get into that sort of area of town. And
okay, so this is the first. This I have two images to share.
Oh, just two.
Yeah. I mean, you did 6 total.
Yeah.
I mean, we can share more if you want. I can do that. This is the one of the horse, and you're sitting in front of it. And what's fun about this one is, so these are the glass panels. They're like, I think they were like 2.5 by 5 or 2 by 5 or something like that. And what was cool about your concept is that you were trying to do it so that if somebody was seated there waiting for the train, that the image behind them was kind of goofy, or you could kind of hashtag it, hashtag Tex rail or whatever.
Yeah. One of the things that were a little relaxing because I figured this is definitely a station that people use to go to work and stuff, and also to go shopping. But getting on the train can be kind of stressful and commuting and all that. So one of the stuff that was just kind of whimsical and fun.
Yeah. So this was the horse one. This was really cute. I should say Fred has joined us. Says
hey Fred,
tuning in, and Ron has joined us as well.
Hey Ron.
Says, hey guys, hey, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so let me share the other one. All right, it takes a second.
Well, thanks for joining, guys. That's cool. Yeah, and it was kind of fun. So I did 6 of them, and it's like different aspects of Fort Worth. But I wanted it to be a little bit different. Like a lot of times whenever you think about Fort Worth, you think about just Western sort of stuff and all that. And what is this one?
So this
I know
is
it went up. It's not telling me what it is, but tell me something changed.
This is the one of Eagle sitting on top of the bench with the two. It's a guide dog, a painting of a guide dog, and then a little painting of like a guide dog in training in front of that dog. So Eagle was doing
her because Eagle did get up on the bench. I did have to punish her later. No, I'm just kidding. I never know. How would you punish Eagle? I don't even know. She's so perfect. Anyway, if you tell Eagle, if you say like Eagle, you're slightly wrong, it would break her heart. So there's no such thing as punishing Eagle.
So this was you did 6 total. You did one of a girl blowing a dandelion, some whirlwind of butterflies, the gardens at Fort Worth Botanical Gardens, the Japanese gardens, and then you did the horse. Oh, and you did one of an elephant that's like pulling up a flower, which was pretty cute.
I did a silly thing where I was pretending like I was holding on the flower.
Yeah.
Did any of those turn out, or were they just?
No, they turned out. They were fun.
I'm pretty sure they make me look like an idiot, but are they? Or do they turn out in a cool kind of way at all? Or can we share? Can we share that one?
Yeah. Why don't you talk about the painting while I load it up? So I gotta look.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So some of the images that we want to do, they're wanting to be a little bit interactive. So, to make it a little fun for kids and stuff. And also, like with a guide dog, a lot of people who have disabilities use trains and buses and all this sort of stuff. It makes a really great way to be able to get around and gives a lot of independence. So I thought having the guide dog there showing, Eagle and then a guide dog pup would just be kind of fun. It would kind of tick both boxes where you can have it fun for kids, because who doesn't love dogs and puppies, especially puppies, and then and have it a working dog, and then just different aspects of Fort Worth. So this one too, it's a I love the Fort Worth Zoo, and I love elephants. So this is a baby elephant, and she's holding on to a sunflower, but the sunflower is going off on the side of the image. And the idea was if somebody wanted to, they could pretend like they're grabbing onto the sunflower. So I've never tried it. I mean, I painted here in the studio with that idea, thinking like, how's it going to work? I'm like, I don't know, but do you think it worked?
Yeah.
Actually, I guess you guys can decide for yourselves. I don't.
Okay. Let me load it into the thing. My ice in my wine just popped and just why don't put ice all over me? It was weird.
That's not a sentence you hear very often. The ice in my wine just popped.
Hey man, I'm fancy.
My wine slushies.
Okay.
Yep, we are pretentious folk.
What we're doing here. Okay, so this is the elephant one.
Oh,
it's gonna take a second.
Ooh, anticipation.
If it goes over.
Oh my goodness. Are you just teasing us with it?
No, it booted me off the thing. My computer's like, you're trying to do too much.
Well, I tell you what.
Us about this
yeah. So you're right in my mind. So here let me show you guys this one. So this is something I'm working on. This is what I was working on last week. So you can tell what I've done is I'm deepening the colors here. So all along here is getting a lot deeper. Down here you can see where the silhouettes are, and this is really just kind of a placeholder. There's going to be two people in there, so it's not going to look exactly like this, but it helps with the composition, so you can see the idea that there's going to be two people here, and this is sort of the land that they're walking on. But there's also a little bit of water going to be coming back in here a little bit, so you can get an idea of that. But there's going to be some grass and some greenery, a little bit of sand, so you can get an idea. All that's still kind of an underpainting. And if you remember, an underpainting is just it's instead of always having a white canvas, an underpainting gives you the ability to have different shifts of color and stuff. So it can really add to the vibrancy in the color and the realism of a painting. It makes subtle shifts. So you can use semi-transparent colors, some that are a little more opaque. And so that's what that's doing here. So I want to give the idea of a little wetness and stuff in there. But so with this, I've been building up kind of slowly and working on the water. So you can tell what I'm trying to do with the water here, I bet. So you see this landmass is coming through here. So I have it, and I've got a little bit of the sticky paint still right here. So you can see where it's coming and it's making a channel. So where this other land is coming down the trees and all, and then it's coming down to like right here. You can see that channel that's sort of snaking around. I don't know. I love that idea. And then Purple Mountains Majesty over here in the background. This actually right here is I don't know if you can see it. Does this show up where I can feel it, but I don't know how.
Yeah, barely. I can't remember. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's going to be some other mountains in the background for right there that are going to be a little bit more blue. Right now it's just white with a line that I drew of the idea of where the mountains are going to be. And then the water here, and I was doing something a little bit different. Like initially I was going to do the water with just horizontal lines all the way across. And I thought it might be a little interesting if I made this at a bit of an angle, but I'm wondering if that's a good idea or not. Like, You see here where it's kind of angle going up
Yeah.
here, but the rest of it is sort of. But it's
Hmm.
because the way that the wind goes and the water can flow a little bit differently.
I think yeah.
Is it working? Do you think, or does that look right to you?
Kind of.
Kind of,
Yeah.
sort
I
of.
mean, I think like it might be something to worry about a little bit further down.
Mm.
Yeah, as you flesh it out a little bit more.
Okay.
But it's
Well,
looking really good. I'm digging it, babe.
well, thank you. And then over here, it's all rock and stuff. And I'm not sure how it looks on the digital camera, and also the StreamYard, the software we're using now for our live streams is really great. It makes things really easy, and we're loving it. But the only bad thing is that at least the package we have, it's only 720 quality. So I don't know how that, to me, it's all just numbers. I can't see the image on the computer screen, but I know 1080 is higher than 720, and that's what we used to do. But so I don't know how much that affects the color or the clarity, because I can feel a lot here, but I don't know what you're seeing. So
Well, Barbara joins us, says, hey there, I actually managed to get here.
Hey, Barbara.
Thanks for tuning in. Deborah's with us, says, beautiful colors. And David says, I like it a lot. And Caitlin has joined us and says, I think maybe the purple mountains could be lighter in color to make them appear more far away.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. And I'm wondering because at first I did have them very light. And I thought, well, I want to darken things a bit. So I want to darken things here and dark because I want to have a little bit more of a dynamic sky. And then I'm going to have another row of mountains behind it. So I was wondering about maybe making a darker top of the mountain so you get a real nice crisp peak. And then maybe going in with a little bit lighter purples and pinks and a little bit of light blues kind of to lighten them up a bit. But then you have this darker area.
Yeah.
So I think you're right on. Like I love that idea. That's a brilliant idea. And at first I had it really light, and then I was going to put in the dark areas. So instead I flipped it, and now I have it all dark, and then I'm going to put in light areas
yeah, and I think because they're supposed to be a silhouette, so I think you're slowly darkening the whole thing. So it'll probably come out in the washes at more, that have that atmospheric perspective going on.
Yeah. It's a commission, and they wanted the figures to be more silhouette. I'm almost silly wet. I don't want them. It's a lake painting. They wanted to be silly and wet. No, it'd be funny if that's actually what they said, and I just misread it. No, it's a silhouette. I just have them frolicking in the water. But a silhouette. So I want all this to be darker over this area. So maybe you get the idea. There's trees behind them you just can't see, and it's casting some shadows, and just give it a really nice, vibrant, happy feel. I just want to feel where. I don't know. I just got the feeling from the commission that these are people that in British Columbia, they love to go outside. They love the outdoors, and it's something that really adds to their relationship. Adds their, I don't know. It's just like a lot of flavor in their life, and it brings a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, and so if this painting can show a little bit of that, then I'll be pretty happy.
Nice. Well, Caitlin said that sounds perfect.
Ooh, thanks.
And Kim joins us, says hello, and oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Kim. Were you able to get the elephant?
Yes. So I got the image up just for anybody that's just now joining us. John installed some art at the Mercantile Station. They're big giant glass panels inside this area where you wait for a train. And here are some fun pictures.
Ooh.
So this is the elephant one, assuming it doesn't crash. Yeah. So this is the elephant one. And this is John being silly and acting like he's holding on to the flower that the elephant's like pulling out of the ground.
And I should say, I don't know the quality of the photos and all, but I know they had a professional photographer. Well, you're a professional photographer, but you were just using your phone, having fun. And we just goofed around a little bit after the actual photo shoot. And but this was midday. It was like the brightest time of the day.
Yeah.
Really sunny, beautiful day. Got up to like 70 degrees that day. And so during the darker times of the day, the painting will be a lot brighter, I think. So this is like the dimmest it probably would be.
Yeah, that was the only thing, is that it was so bright. And I mean, your paintings are always so like super vibrant. And I guess because it has that translucent quality, it almost seemed a bit faded. But yeah, I bet as the light changes, it gets different.
Yeah, okay. I have a feeling that at night it probably really brightens up, which is kind of cool. It'll be nice, but
All right, so let me share the next one.
Ooh, what's the next one?
You doing the dandelion.
My gosh. Oh, this is probably silly. I know it's silly, but
So this is kind of, this actually is really kind of hard to see because it's a bit smaller because I'm farther away.
Oh.
But yeah, so this is an image of a girl holding a dandelion, blowing on it, but John's acting like he's holding it.
Does it look like I'm blowing on it at all, or is it just look like I'm?
It looks like you kind of fell asleep against the glass.
Does it look like I passed out against in a train station somewhere? Is Eagle in it?
Yeah, she's looking at you like, what are you doing?
You know, great. I work for this guy. Nice.
Anyway, so there you have it.
Well, thank you for sharing that, sweetheart.
Sure. So again, those are at the Mercantile station here in Fort Worth. So,
well, that's awesome. That was fun, and that was a lot of fun. And Jack had a good weekend. He actually got to spend Sunday night with my parents.
Yeah, that was cool.
out at the lake, and he hasn't done that in forever.
And he drove a car.
Yeah, he drove a car. Yeah, mom called and said Jack drove a car, and Jack's 13, and we're like, cool. Well, I guess like how did that happen? But they live kind of out in the country, and I remember growing up in being on some old dirt roads and stuff, and being able to drive a car for the first time.
Yeah,
it would have been fun to be there, but I'm so glad that he was able to have that experience with my mom and dad, and I mean, I'm not going to teach him to drive a car.
That's true.
10-2, buddy. 10-2. Like, you sound like you're doing good to me.
We haven't hit anything yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard any crumpling.
No, so. I think Jack will be a good driver. We went to Florida like 2 years ago or 3 years. Yeah, we went to Florida to visit my aunt and uncle who are in a retirement community, and they let him drive the golf cart all over the place, and that was cool. That was a blast. And he's really good. Like he's cautious of things around him. Sorry, so guys. I think he'll be a good driver.
Yeah.
Well, David says tranquil but bright and happy.
Oh, nice. Thank you, David.
And Linda said, silly but cool art.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it is a bit silly. You know, I don't know. I kind of struggle against, or I don't struggle, but I always fight against all art has to be serious and whatnot. And I thought for a train station, you know, it should be a little more relaxing, a little more silly, you know, because I want it to be fun for kids. And there's something about a train too, you know, where you want kids to really enjoy it, and kids get excited about being on a train. And I don't know, on a commute like that, I just want it to be fun.
Well, David says, Eagle Dad, are you okay? Speaking of your silliness at the train station. And Caitlin said, John, your voice sounds like Tim Heidecker, and I love your colorful painting style.
Thank you. Who's Tim Heidecker?
I don't know.
Ooh, can you Google it?
I don't know, but I'm sure he's got the sexiest of voices.
Oh my goodness. So do we just become best friends or mortal enemies? I don't know. I have to find out who this is.
And Barbara says, an eagle looks like, should I help? Is he dead?
And it's funny, Tim Heidecker sounds so familiar. I'm terrible with names though. Got a feeling like if
I'd have to look it up. I don't know.
You want to look it up?
No, I don't want, my computer might freak out.
Okay, I'll look it up later, but I might know.
Oh, well, Caitlin said from Tim and Eric, he's a comedian.
Oh,
okay.
Well, cool.
So
I guess, is that good? Is it good?
I mean, I think you have a good voice.
Oh, thank you. But just Tim Heidecker, because
just Tim.
You know, but now I'm super curious. I'm gonna look him up after. This sounds so familiar.
I don't know, but
I'm horrible in names though. I always hated like when you're in a group and then you hear a voice that you know, like, but it's like a voice that you know from years ago, and I think like, oh my goodness, I know that voice and I should know the name. Like I'm expected to know the name that goes with this voice. Oh, I hate that. Gosh, you know, I don't really have dreams of like suddenly being in public, you know, like without any clothes or anything. I don't have that, but oh my goodness. But that's sort of the way it makes me feel whenever I hear a voice like that. And I think, oh, I've got to know the name. And
that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
silly.
I'll tell you what.
So what colors are you laying down now? What are you?
Oh, right now. Good. Thanks. Well,
and it looks like it looks like there's the water that they're kind of standing in. Is that a shadow or is that more water?
It's a little bit of water, but I'm going to put in kind of some land because I want it to be like the water is kind of coming up a little bit, and it's up in there. But so I want some of the dark areas and stuff but the water is actually bigger than what I want it to be, and the dark area is bigger than what I want it to be. See, like You can feel like we're you can see where see feel whatever and whatever works with video. Um, like where the ground is sort of coming up here, but all this is going to merge into one ground. So here is it's just different parts of the underpainting. So I have yellow and I have a burnt sienna with titanium white mixed in, a grass green and a darker green and sort of a military green. I can't remember the name of it, but I always call it military green. Sort of an olive drab. Maybe it's called olive drab, but in my brain, that's what I always think of that paint that I have over there. And then down here more yellow and the titanium white but then the blue's coming in, but I also have just tiny titanium white. And that's because this ground over here is going to be a little bit different. You know when sand and dirt get wet, how it darkens and all.
Yeah.
So I want to have that where it's light and dark and light, and then not completely light. So that's why I have the yellow. And that's some of the fun you can do with your paintings is, like here I have white and I have yellow right by it, and I have the brown. And so whenever I paint over it, whatever colors I put over that, because I'll make them semi-transparent, they'll actually undulate a little bit. So the light will affect the paint in different ways, and that's just kind of fun. I don't know. It makes the job a little bit easier for all that. And so, but right now I have a transparent. It's a turquoise. It's a turquoise blue, and it's mixed in with a medium. And this is actually here's a little tip, guys. Am I dive that up right so you can see this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. This is it's India ink. And there's also artist inks that already have medium added to it. And I'll add medium. I'll add this as a pigment into my acrylic paints to give them more of a vibrance to them. And I'll also use this sort of ink and also the artist inks and the artist paints that are watered down like that, and add it to a heavy flow medium. And it makes a transparent paint that's just great. It's really great for tints and washes. And it just makes it so much fun, and it's so good. And one of the nice things about it is because those have a lot of pigment in it. So you can really brighten up your other paints and make it even brighter, like really increase that pigment count in them and add a little bit of transparency as well. So even though you're adding brighter color, you're not making it dull. You're not, and which is a problem a lot of people have with their paintings when they're trying to add a bunch of color in and a bunch of different colors, is that, if you've ever done that on a palette or anything, you add a bunch of colors, you end up with brown or gray, or you end up with these really dull sort of colors. But if you use these inks and these highly pigmented paints and inks to add to it, you can keep that transparency a little bit that lets the painting breathe and lets the other colors come through and keeps the colors really bright.
Nice.
So anyway,
I think the secret is
I got really excited about that.
And the secret might be letting them dry in between layers and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. There's also techniques where if you keep it wet, you can do almost on a Bob Ross where his painting is wet on wet or alla prima if you want to be fancy about it. But
it's pretty fancy.
So you can do that with it. But you're right though, if you let it dry, then you can come up with these really, really thin layers. And you can have like on this little area right here, I have about 8 layers of paint right here, and you would never know it to feel it. Because it's just really thin, transparent layers. But and I'm putting a little opaque in. But with water though, you just can't rush it. So you want a little opaque and transparent, undulating. Then you end up with this water that, even though it's kind of crazy colored, it has a realistic look about it. Because the eye and the brain, it makes sense because that's the way light will go across the water. It dips in, it comes out, it diffuses. And then even though it's not all blue or it's not all, it to the brain, you'll see it and you'll understand water, but you also get the emotion from the color. Gosh, I'm getting excited about this. This is I don't know.
Well, Fred said it's weird that there are only 12 musical notes, but everyone's voice sounds different. That's interesting. I never thought about it that way.
That's fascinating.
That's pretty weird.
Oh, guess what, guys? I have a horrible fact to tell you guys.
Oh, no.
In fact, I don't even want to tell you because I almost want to put it on the Instagram or make it a cartoon.
Oh, no.
Maybe.
What?
Well, I found out yesterday, or maybe today. I'm losing track of days. I'm older than the high five. The high five was invented like in 1978 or 77 or something.
I'm not older than the high five.
Oh, yeah. Jackie just beat it out. So maybe it was 77 because
Let's go with that.
Because even though you were born in the late 80s, let's say.
That's
what you'd say. No, but isn't that crazy? So like people did high fives, whatever, but it didn't have like the meaning behind it. Like it wasn't like the high five. But it's a scary idea to think that you're older than a gesture. That you're older than people going, yeah, I'm older than that, guys. That's ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, my bones creaked a little bit more when I heard that. But it was like at a Dodgers game, and two of the players like did that. And people were like, "What are they doing? What was that?
Let's call it a high five."
Yeah, that's where to go. He was like, "High five, high five."
That's cool.
Isn't that weird? So
That is
people
weird.
did it. But you know what? It makes me wonder though. It's like, so in my early youth, in sports games and stuff, what did people do? Like somebody did something cool. I mean, they're like, way to go, Ron. Way to go. Congratulations.
I mean, maybe they did that. Maybe a clap. Yeah,
maybe.
Snap your fingers.
I don't know.
But
we're like, it's just a bunch of beat out on the field. Way to go, man! Way to go! Click, click, clack.
But the fist. If you think about the fist bump, I mean, that's not old. That's a fairly newish thing. So that's true.
Oh, good. I feel a little bit better about this because Jack is probably older than the fist bump, at least the way it's used now.
Probably.
Maybe.
I wonder where that started. Well, Lori asked, "What medium do you use?"
Oh, here, Lori, let me show you. Actually.
And then Fred laughed and he said, "Butt tap, good game."
Yeah, I know. So it was all just butt tap. So the high five needed to be invented. So thank goodness. I mostly use acrylic paints, and you got to be careful when you want to thin them down and all, because if you add too much water, it makes it where the bonds won't happen. Like the way that acrylic paint hooks together is it makes these chemical bonds that sort of interlace. And if you water it down too much, that doesn't happen, and it'll cause the cracking that you've probably seen. So let me see. Here's the label. So I'm going to hold this up. I don't know if you can read it, but it's an acrylic flow release. So this stuff is really nice. You can add it in with your paint, and you can water it down or make it as transparent as you want, and it maintains its bonds. Like it'll still it'll act like you're putting water in it, but instead it'll just thin out and become more and more transparent. And if you use that stuff, the acrylic flow release, and so I have lots and lots of different kinds of paints. So this was the ink that I showed you. It's painter's ink, really highly pigmented. But then I also have other paints that already have acrylic flow release mixed into it. It's a heavy flow acrylics, and I've got. Wait for it. Okay. Okay. This looks like ink, but it's just a bottle that I've made my own. And so this has that acrylic flow release and paint. So I just reuse a lot of these ink bottles and stuff. So sometimes it looks like I'm using one of these, and you think, oh, it's any ink. I'm just using the bottle, and I'll pre-mix stuff.
So is it? So you've got a paint color mixed in with the medium in that.
Yeah,
Is it the yellow? Is that the color?
Yeah. So this is a golden yellow, and I can tell because there's a GUY on it because I'm really lazy when it comes to brow, and I always use this bottle for it. So I have a particular golden yellow that I mix myself because it feels a certain way, and it acts a certain way. So I always mix it exactly the same, and it always goes in this bottle. And it smells terrible. Like I don't know what it is about one of the additives I put in there, but it's not great. This on the other hand, it smells fine. So I don't know. It's weird. Like some of the additives.
How often do you smell your paints?
I'll tell you what. You want to smell this one paint? Oh, why don't you smell this one paint? I don't want to smell
anything.
Oh, this is gonna be so funny.
No, the paint water alone makes me steer clear.
This is so much like the bad jelly beans. Where you get one, you're like,
gross. The bean boozles.
Yeah, it smells.
No thanks.
What does that smell though? What is? It smells like something. I don't know what it is, but it's not good.
Well, Ray joins us and says, "John, you are amazing.
Thank you,
an
Ray.
Amazing artist."
Oh, thank you. Is that Ray?
Ray Vaughn.
Oh man. Well, thank you very much.
And Kim said Floetrol.
Yeah.
Like so you don't use that normally, but you've used it to you've played around with acrylic pouring and stuff, and that's what that's for, right?
So yeah, I have Floetrol over that, and I use that with the acrylic pouring, but I haven't used it with this. I want to try around a little bit more, but that's actually a really interesting idea, though.
You're gonna mix some acrylic paint with Floetrol?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically like acrylic pouring.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, but it would be interesting though to do that and see what the texture. Um, I have a large amount of Floetrol over there to do with the pouring. So yeah, definitely try that out. And the main thing you just want to make sure anything you add to your paints is that it doesn't crack. But also one thing that's interesting too is that having it crack and getting that sort of look to it can be kind of cool too. But if your paint does that, it doesn't mean you have to throw away your painting or anything like that. Just make sure that the layers of paint that you put on after that have more or more adhesive, like they're better. And then at the they actually stick together and make a layer over that so it holds it all together. And then when you're done with the painting, you can put varnish. So if you want a cracking technique, you can absolutely do that, and then just make sure you have a nice protective varnish over it, to make sure that it holds everything where you need it,
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the whole Mod Podge idea, really, where you get all kinds of weird stuff. You can even glue things down with it and do all kinds of fun stuff, and it doesn't matter because it seals it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so Lori says, thank you for explaining. And Kim said, oh, okay, so that flow medium was not Floetrol, was the question. So
Yeah,
no, hold it up again. And then say the name again, and hold it up for a second.
Oh, actually, you know what? I think I'm holding up the wrong thing.
It's high gloss varnish.
Okay, yeah, this is I use this too. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong bottle. My bad. So moved it. Well, it's acrylic flow release. Did I move it over here?
Me. Okay, so this is you can buy it in the same area of the art stores. But
yeah, sorry guys. I'm bad with names and stuff. But I use the high gloss varnish. I don't use it as varnish. I use it to do what the acrylic flow release does because it makes it feel a little bit different. It does the same thing, but it makes it feel a little bit different. So I use that as an acrylic flow release, but it gives it more of a I don't know, more of a kind of a slimy kind of feel, which is kind of gross sounding, but it makes it feel different on the paint, which is maybe that's why that yellow smells so bad. Maybe that's the culprit. But this stuff doesn't make it smell good bad. This is the actual acrylic flow release. So I don't know about the
it's destroyed.
Oh, it's destroyed. Well, this is acrylic flow release, and
it's golden. The brand is golden.
Yeah, so it's golden brand. The varnish that I use is from Liquitex, and I'm not really I like Liquitex. I like golden. They're both great, and I go back and forth. There's some brands that, because I use the texture, that part's important to me. So sometimes I'll use one of one brand and then one of another, just because it feels different, but like like I said, that varnish has more of a slimy kind of feel. So whenever I'm mixing it on the palette, I'll mix that in there, and it'll react the same way that acrylic flow release. Because the wonderful thing about the varnish is that it's just like the Mod Podge. It holds everything together. It's meant to seal it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you put some paint in with that, and you can actually have a little bit of fun with that too. So
Kim said, sorry, I'm legally blind. I can't see the labels well. So
you know what? Me either. I feel you, and honestly, if I were you, I'm not like a big stickler. Like we're not supported by any sponsors in any way ever. We this is all for kicks and giggles. We do get sent stuff every once in a while, but we just go by like what is like when we're buying for the studio. We have brands that we know are good, and we just go by what's on sale or what.
Yeah, so we know it works. If you go to the art store, all the mediums that John uses are in the paint section, like where the acrylic and oil paints are, right next to it, literally. And it's golden is the brand, and acrylic flow release, high gloss varnish. Those are the two bottles that he showed.
And both those brands are great. So I don't mind switching back and forth with those. Like if one's on sale a little bit, because it's kind of like if you were buying a really fancy car, oh, I got a Mercedes or I got a BMW. Either way,
it's all golden.
Either way, you got a really good car.
Yeah, it's all golden brand. It's two different mediums that you're using.
Liquitex is a different brand.
And it is that which one is that then?
Varnish.
Okay.
But golden also makes a varnish.
Okay.
So you could buy golden varnish, but the varnish that I use just happens to be Liquitex varnish. Okay. And I like it because when I add it to my paint, it feels kind of slimy.
Okay. Cool. So all that stuff is right there in the art store. You just find it or grab somebody and they'll point you in the right direction.
Cheap Joe's, Dick Blick, Amazon. I'm going to the manufacturers' websites themselves. Sometimes they sell things that are cheaper. You know.
Well, Barbara says, why do people always say, "Ooh, this tastes terrible"? Here, taste it. Yes, why do they?
I don't know.
And then Fred said he got kicked out, but he's back on.
Hey,
so that means we should do some trivia.
Yeah, let's do some trivia. And I'm gonna tint this water a little bit while we all discover how much I don't know about things.
Well, let me ask this: do you want to do general or do you want to do entertainment?
I don't know. I mean, I'd probably be more about words, general, or like. But yeah, let's do general. How about
okay. All right. All right, people. So chime in. Let us know if you think you know the answer while John and I try to guess. General trivia. All right. Okay, what is, and I believe this is pronounced Pesce, Pesce, Italian for?
Oh.
A, pessimistic, B, annoying, C, fish, or D, understand?
That's oh gosh. What is it? Pessimistic?
Pessimistic, annoying, fish, or understand? And maybe it's peach.
Pesci.
No.
Like the actor?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's
guys.
that. I think it's understand. That's going to be my guess.
I'm going to guess fish.
Lori says it's D. And
D?
Ken joined us, said it's fish. Quite a few people are saying D.
What's D?
Understand.
Oh. I'm thinking fish.
Okay, let's see. Which should I go with? You want to do fish?
No, let's go with yours. Let's go with yours.
The majority of the crowd is on. Oh, we're wrong. So fish, huh?
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, cool.
Just go with you.
I was thinking because it sounds like a Latin word for like a fish something, you know.
I was thinking like capiche. Maybe I was pronouncing it wrong. Capiche.
Yeah, I like that. I like your reasoning was wrong, but I like it better.
All right. Which musician was not left-handed?
Oh my goodness. Oh.
A, Paul McCartney, B, John Lennon, C, Jimi Hendrix, or D, Kurt Cobain?
Oh my word. What? Oh, hold it. Let me think. Oh no, you know what? Okay, I'm thinking him through my mind vault. Jimi Hendrix, I think.
Fred says John Lennon, and he's a musician.
Ooh, yeah, because Jimi Hendrix was left-handed, I think. I'm thinking about remembering. The Doors. Okay, was the Doors on there?
No. Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, John Lennon, Paul McCartney. And Jimi Hendrix had specifically a guitar made for him being left-handed, didn't he?
I don't remember. Paul McCartney played the piano a lot.
The question is, which musician was not left-handed? Ken asked to repeat it. A, Paul McCartney, B, John Lennon, C, Jimi Hendrix, or D, Kurt Cobain?
I'm trying to think.
I think it's John Lennon.
I think you're right, because I think Kurt Cobain was. I'm trying to rewind all the way back in the 90s when I saw the Teen Spirit video.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, no, that. It seems like the guitar was going out, the wrong side from being right in. Okay, yeah, let's go with that.
All right.
Let's all be right or wrong together.
Right. We're right.
Geniuses.
Sweet. In which group of more than 7,000 islands is Panay?
Oh, hold it. Panay.
Gosh. A, Philippines, B, Falklands, C, Shetlands, or D, Caribbean?
Hold it. Are you spelling, is it penny like
penny
pasta?
Panay.
Oh, I was thinking like penny pasta. PENNE or whatever.
Oh, no.
Okay. So can you say the things one more time, please?
A, Philippines, B, Falklands, C, Shetlands, or D, Caribbean? Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right.
Okay. So the Falklands. I know it's not that, because that's near Argentina, and I think that it's kind of small little chain thing there.
We got
Caribbean, there's a million islands, but
yeah, everybody's all over the place with it.
I'm thinking Philippines though. Hold it. I'm thinking Philippines.
I think it's Philippines. I would guess the Philippines. Cassie joins us, says hi, hopping in late because of work, but it's good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. You and I think it's Philippines. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, and so we got a couple. Okay, so let's guess that. Sweet.
Oh, we're right?
Yep.
I mean, I totally knew that. Of course, there's no doubt. Oh.
Which D.H. Lawrence novel first published in 1928 was banned in England until 1960?
Oh my goodness.
A.
Gosh, and I have an English degree, see, so this is embarrassing.
A. The Escaped Cock. B. Women in Love. C. Sons and Lovers. Or D. Lady Chatterley's Lover. Chatterley's? Chatterley's.
Yeah, Lady Chatterley. Gosh.
I have no idea. I would guess D.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess D too, just because I'm curious what other people think though, because
Well, Fred guessed D, and he's on a streak.
Well, that makes me feel better. I mean, because
we got a couple D. We got a few Ds.
All right, nice. Because if we're wrong together.
We're all wrong together. All right, let's guess. Let's see.
Man,
we're doing.
I haven't gotten one wrong yet, which I think I just jinxed myself though.
Probably. What symbol of the zodiac is represented by the archer? A. Capricorn. B. Sagittarius. B. Libra. Or D. Aries.
Oh my goodness!
You should know this. You're
me. Gosh,
in this department.
I mean, I was born under a sign, I guess, but weren't we all? Like, I don't have any particular. Oh, I'm a Gemini.
And
I know that's two people, and that sort of. I know Pisces is a fish.
I would guess Sagittarius, but I'm that's a pure guess.
Well, Sagittarius, isn't that the ram?
Maybe, sure.
And there's Libra.
Can guess Capricorn.
Capricorn. Oh, maybe Capricorn.
But Aries sounds like a fighting situation.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
But is Aries a sign? Can you? Is that
Barbara said I was born under a sign. Hospital.
Yes.
Okay, so what let's see.
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I would get my instinct was Sagittarius, but you
well, no, let's go with that. I believe in science. As they said in Nacho Libre.
Okay.
So it's hard to...
It is.
Hey, way to go. That's all you, man.
Nice. Oh, this is...
I mean, I'll totally take credit for it, but, it was all you.
This is going to be an easy one.
Oh, good. Thank goodness.
Sam Malone and Norm Peterson were characters in which 1986?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, we know it.
Everybody knows your name.
Yeah, you can sing it. Yeah. A. Blackadder. B. Married with Children. C. Soap. Or D. Cheers.
Oh, let me think about this. Gosh.
I have watched the entirety of this show multiple times, and it's like hours of TV.
Yeah.
Hours.
It's good. It's funny though. Like if you put it on, just the piano.
Well, it like brings you back. It's like a moment in time. I know for me, it was like there was a stretch of my life where I lived alone and, it's college times or whatever. And I would watch Nick at Night every night religiously. And that was, it was during the time that Cheers was, and I would just, man, it brings me back to that time. So it's good. It's nice. I like it.
It is. It's a good feeling. So I assume Cheers.
Yeah. So let's go with Cheers. Very good.
Nice.
Okay. Who was known as the Desert Fox?
Oh, I know that one.
I do not know this. A. Bernard Montgomery. B. T.E. Lawrence. C. Norman Schwarzkopf.
Schwarzkopf. Yeah, you remember Schwarzkopf. Desert Storm and all that.
No. D. Erwin Rommel. I mean, what? What? This is a Schwarzkopf character?
You know from the Gulf War?
That was a big event. Who's
Yeah,
this
he
one
was the
dude?
main dude. He was the big kind of overweight guy that was like, blah blah blah.
Like, was he in the
We got
news
all
a
these
lot?
sorties. It's like where everybody, if you've never been in the military, like you weren't in the Air Force, it's where everybody else in the country learn the word sortie because you heard sortie a million times on the 24-hour news, all the time.
Huh.
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna do 2,000 sorties and blah blah blah.
Interesting. Well, the consensus says it is C. Norman Schwarzkopf.
It's
I mean, it
Rom-
sounds familiar.
That's
Like the
Rommel. It's
Oh.
Erwin Rommel, and because he was a German officer in North Africa, going against the British, and then later going against the Americans.
And he was the Desert Fox.
Desert Fox.
Do you think people are just saying Norman Schwarzkopf because of desert?
Yes, I think so. And but Schwarzkopf was probably a better Desert Fox. I mean, he was. He wasn't foxy, but but he was pretty cagey.
So you're confident it's Erwin Rommel.
You know what? I'm very confident.
Good, you got it right. Okay, what were the professional fighters in the arena?
Remember, I'm older than the high five, so I've seen some things.
What were the professional fighters in the arenas of ancient Rome called? A. Gladiators. A. Radiators. That's weird. B. Gladiators.
It's like a Cars take on history.
C. Executioners. Or D. Combatants.
Okay, I'm gonna nerd out just a little bit. It's gladiators, but that was actually only one segment of the fighters. Those were the people that fought with the swords. Were called the gladiators, and then they had all these different types of fighters that would fight using different weapons and things.
And they didn't necessarily fight to the death, right?
Right. Yeah. That's another thing. They're learning so much about all that they would actually have careers and stuff, and people would, so about half the people that fought in that were slaves, and about the half weren't, and they, but it's weird that it's kind of, you think, well, why in the world would somebody be a gladiator? And I was listening to a lecture or something about this the other day or something on it, and it was really interesting because it was like, well, if you signed up for the army for ancient Rome and all this sort of stuff, it was like 25 years or something. It was 25 years that you would sign up for the army, and you're in it. You don't leave that. But for a gladiator, it was something like 5 years. Or something like that. I can't remember. It was so much less, and you would fight only about 3 times a year, and it wasn't to the death, And in fact, like, it would have a thing where if the gladiator died, then the whoever's putting the games on would have to pay the owner like 50,000, whatever it was.
Wow,
it was like
so you didn't really want the guy to die.
No, and it wasn't really bad. But what gets confused though is along with the gladiator fights, they would have executions that were also fights. So, but they weren't like trained gladiators and stuff. So they might give them swords and stuff. They might even give them make little small armies, but they were all condemned people, and they were actually just being, I mean, it's not a happy thing. I'm not saying like, let's do it, but I mean, it's weird. It's weird though that how they're getting more understanding about all this. I apologize, I nerded out.
You're a nerd.
But I would say gladiator.
Gladiator. Very good. Very good. Okay. Here we go. You gotta use your brain powers.
Oh no.
Which of these words comes last alphabetically? Aglo, agony, agree, agile.
Oh, LMNO. Okay. I think I got it.
What do you think it is?
Hold it, I forgot. Hold it. Aglo, agony, agree, and agony, or what's the last one?
Aglo, agony, agree, and agile.
I think it's agree.
Do you?
Well, I think, but I this stuff makes my brain hurt, to be honest. Remembering facts that you've been hurt, is kind of easy. A little bit.
Lori said, "Hey, Fred, give me a chance and quit being so smart." Okay. Let's try. What did you say? Agree?
What do you think? Yeah.
I think it's agree because.
Okay.
Yeah.
because of letters,
Because
of alphabetization. Stuff like that for me is really, really hard.
Well, yeah, you have to memorize what's going on in your brain.
So do you, though.
Pan.
You have to look at it and think about.
Well, yeah, but I can keep referring to it. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Here's another one. Which of these words comes last alphabetically? Dove, dorm, doom, dote.
Well, wouldn't it be? I mean, wouldn't it be dove?
I mean, that'd be my.
I mean, because that's kind of easy. Because I thought, well, do, and then, I mean, V is pretty far down the list there. That sounds like an easy one to me.
Okay.
Unless I'm just wrong and they trick me, and I was like, oh, because that's what you get wrong and it makes you feel bad about yourself.
All right, we got 95 points.
Hey, man,
we're awesome.
Is that good?
I can't remember what we got last week. I think we got 90.
It's also a time thing. I think the faster you put in the answer, the higher your points are.
Well, we're in no rush.
Well, yeah.
So good job, guys. 95. We're aces.
Well, thanks for the game, sweetheart.
Sure. So what do you have left on the painting? Like what are your next steps, and what do we have to expect next Tuesday?
I'm not sure for next Tuesday. This will definitely be done. And I can't remember what the next one up in the studio is. But I do want to share a lot more stuff. So, I feel like I haven't done the social medias as well as I should. So I'm going to be working on that, trying to share some stuff that's kind of fun. But on this, though, I want to deepen the colors and the water. That way it'll give more of the dimensional effect, especially around where the rock is, and be able to give the rock wall a bit more of a dimensional effect as well by doing the same thing. So really deepening some of the oranges and reds and the purples up here, and then defining the tree line a lot more. Like you can see where there's a couple trees up here, a few that are just kind of barely there, and there's a whole bunch up here. So define those more. And then, of course, do the same on the basically I want to make the whole thing better, and then I want to get the people in there too, And so there's a lot to do on it, but I'm enjoying working on this a lot. Like I'm not really rushing through it. It's not that big of a painting. I should probably already have it done, but I really love playing with the colors and stuff. I'm trying out some different color choices than what I normally use, and really enjoying that. Oh, it's really cool.
Nice. Well, Fred said, good job, guys and gals. Thanks. And Lori said, yes, you as well, Fred. So, well, cool. Well, thanks for playing, everybody. That's always fun. Trivia is, always fun. And then I guess we'll be back next Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, guys. Thank y'all so much. So I guess we'll end it. Hope y'all have a great night. And of course, I'm gonna put the end screen, but I'll see you back here in a few seconds because
you should like and subscribe while you wait for John's face to reappear
before we come back, because technology.
And Fred said, thanks for nerding out on the paint layer explanations and the gladiator topic.
Nice.
A wealth of information.
Great. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Good night, guys.
Night, guys.
Good night, guys. And I know it's going to be getting cold out there, so everybody bundle up and stay warm in this cold
Bring your
spell.
pets in.
Yeah, we'll see y'all again later when it's warmer. Bye.